Morning from Panama. It's like good morning Vietnam, but for us it's good morning from Panama, the magical, majestic mountains on the spear's tip of alternative agriculture worldwide, consulting worldwide every day to make this a better place. Welcome to the mental toughness. Character is king. Real true Jedi. Cultivation of intuition. Absolute commitment to the mission, to the higher cause. Recognition that we are truly in an evil time right now. They're really trying to put the control freak clench. There's some real control freaks, and they're unified and they're strong and they're operating in many little high level operation. They're going after big stuff, dropping buildings. I mean, we've got some real crazy things. Not to be walking around blind to all voodooed out and fight with anyone who tries to tell the truth. No, that's not the truth. I know better. I am an entitled genius of the age that didn't work on mental toughness and is actually a programmed robot. And they've done an excellent job because they've really won over so many minds, hearts, souls. Is it all the same thing? Probably in that context. This is a mental toughness session because whether people want to admit it or not, we are in a spiritual war, and all around us you can see groups forming under a control freak agenda, tightening their narratives, shaping behavior, and rewarding conformity over truth. That means it is on us, the cultivators, the builders, the contrast of the control freaks, the ones still connected to nature and reality, to sharpen our skill sets, elevate our character, and lock in our commitments with absolute clarity. No more wasted energy on petty conflict. No more fragmentation. Only discipline, alignment, and forward motion. We become strong, unified in mission, unwilling to be divided and conflicted, unwilling to be distracted. All they have to do is distract you. They don't have to fully deceive you. And fully committed to cultivating a new paradigm, one built on truth, strength, and real world results. No longer dependent on the construct that is completely infiltrated by and controlled by the control freaks. It is issued to us by the control freaks, and we owe them. But there's plenty. Why are we fighting over these small strips of land? I'm not even gonna say keywords here. Over in the Persian Gulf, why are we? There's so much land all over the planet. In fact, if we were all to spread, if a segment of us were to spread out, if 1/3, that's a bad, actually, let's just say if 1/10 of the population, that's a really better reference, and it's doable. It's actually doable. Size limits in sustainability are very clear. They're very important. If you put too many colors on the page, all you're gonna have is black, right? There's a harmony. There is a limit of, you can push things too far. You can put too much contamination to where life dies. If they get their way and they turn this into a big black rock, you know what I mean? That would be a sad, sad story. And the battle between good and evil has been known for a long time. Very detailed. This is in Spanish. It's published by the Seventh-day Adventists a long time ago. Yellow pages in here and stuff, right? This is a republish, even in fact. But, This is talking about the Jesuits. It's talking about all these different groups of Zionists and things that we're hearing about today. It's connections with Andrew Jackson, and it says George Bush, the Bush dynasty. The Bushes were secret Satanists that wanted to put together. And if you look at what the CIA has done, imagine, by the way, there was a Candace Owens back when the JFK assassination had happened. You know what I mean? That would be that. It's unfortunate that that didn't happen. You know, she mentioned in her thing today, and I know some people, but listen, she is uncovering and breaking down an excellent education of this war between good and evil in lifetime right now. Timing being everything in the fight of life, and there's two trajectories crossing here. I'm doing this series on mental toughness, character building, and how to proceed through life as a Jedi, being a very true, committed to truth being. I mean, if you have an old schooler in your life who knows the benefits of this track, of this path, and he can let you know what it really is. I wish I had that. I did have that. I did have that. And it is 1000%. I had it I needed it. I had it 20 times. I don't know how many times I need it. I still need it. I need course correction all the time. Once you let go of the routine, once you let go of your discipline, once you let go of your dieting, macro calculations, informational input calculations, and you definitely got to put it in to put it out. And if you put it in wrong, you're going to put it out wrong. So you need to be weeding, you know, you're definitely the sum of the 5 people you hang around. That's 1000% true. In this war of good and evil right now, these guys are grouping up and they've got missions and they're working with secret codes to control and enslave us, to benefit off your head. It's not even necessary. There's win-win situations everywhere, and for some reason these people want to operate over here, and I try to just make this distinction for everybody all the time. All of this stuff over here, if any of it comes into your being, if you're ever operating in any of these ways, you are pulling yourself over here. It's really super true, because this really super is a simulated reality. Once you understand enough biology, it will lead to, it is what it is, okay? If you're an advanced enough intellect and you combine yourself with that experience, and don't argue with this until you have that experience. And I mean, you've got all this entire lifetime. Can you take 1 year, and go live in nature, pressing yourself to stay out there as long as you possibly can every round? You know, I remember when I broke the 15-day mark. I had a 15-day routine. I was really good. And when I broke that and I stayed for 2.5 months, I really clicked into somewhere, you know. That did happen my first year. I want to go back. I spent 7 years. I can't wait to get back out there. I wonder now, timing everything being in the fight of life, if there was a lot of very interestingly unique pressures and pointers. Can you read the signs? The signs are there. It's just whether or not can you read them, and then do you put action to it, or do you know better and you're gonna force reality? You're gonna control the waves rather than learn to surf. You're going to be this dominator of life because you've been dominated. That's a shitty way to go, man. You know what I mean? You better learn to be a Jedi of life. You better get with some old schoolers. You better learn the fucking basic logic of learning from somebody who has the results that you want. That means that they're navigating life in a way that is attractive to you, that fits your destiny mission, which you probably don't even know what it is. You probably don't even know who you are. You're just living out dispensations from the Diddy sphere and telling everybody that you're not and that you know everything and that can't be true. And how dare you say that about me? You you don't respect. What's there to respect? Have you done personal inventory? Obviously not, or I wouldn't need to say these things, because you'd already know these things, because you had taken the time to get out to nature and seriously grow in self-reflection, isolation, and connection to above. All we live for in this crew, the tightest upper echelon that is out here killing it with me on these spirit tipping diverse agricultures, sucking down nutritional diversity diet, nutritional diversity, 100 different species of pharmacology a week, plus nose to tail animal, as much as possible, right? But Latin America is great because you can get to all these different countries very cheaply, and there's all this great diversity in diet between each ones, and it's very, very interesting, and adaptation to new cultures is the best way to expand the mind. This has been very well studied. Adaptation to nature would be excellent way to expand everything, young Jedi, right? So as we notice that there is a control freak choke coming on more and more and more, and that these freaks, these evil ball worshiping freaks, is what's really, what with weird temples, entire islands to themselves. This is just one of many. In Pinocchio movie, there's little boys, they go to the island and they disappear. I mean, this has been going on, like I said, for if you watch like I said, this is very good educational, the Candace series, because she's exposing the whole thing. She really has balls enough, courage enough. She knows the power of truth enough is really what it is. That she's wielding it like a glowing Excalibur sword that only she could pull out. And it's fucking impressive. And take it from me. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I'm a Jedi Master, but you can come down here, bang sabers with me anytime, Bo, and we'll see what you got. And I will love it. And I'm a winner that wants to see everybody win. I even want to see all the cats in my sphere definitely beat me. Beat the shit out, whatever. Let's go. As long as you're honor, as long as I'm over here in this sphere, and it's iron sharpening on iron for a good mission and a good thing, and that's really what I want to tell you in this episode. All this evil is going to be going on. Okay. No matter what violent storm is going on around us, we keep our inner waters calm and make the best decisions always. Okay, they're grouping up. Let's group up. Let's get away from them. Let's not be their control freak slaves. And this is the slave game that we're in, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you can just call this experience, this beautiful experience of life, earth, atmosphere, nature, peace, love. It's out here, right, in nature. It's having nomadic ability to pick up and move too, and have new chapters in your story. You're supposed to be adventurous. Thank God for calamity to push us into new chapters of the story. You know what I mean? If the control freaks would love for you to be in the matrix pod, in the closet, in the you know what I mean? And telling everybody that you're the Jedi Master and thinking that you are, and being very, very, very satisfied. Not just satisfied, but an entitled genius in this slave place. you know, and that's what you're looking at right now. And it's a phenomenal thing. And there's all kinds of different players in the game, and we'll get to that here in my halftime show I have loaded up right. And just a minute, I'm a real scientist of life who gets extreme results across the board in every area that he's going for, keeps his discipline. He's so methodical, but able to call audibles. Okay, I'm planned and unplanned in a very balanced way. You see that yin and yang, nutritionaldiversity.com symbolism, identities. We're not assuming any identities. We're adaptable to this mission. What does the mission call for? I was so proud of not being on the internet, being invisible on the internet just a few years ago. But the mission was bigger. It was actually a child abuse mission that I came on the internet for. Long story. We won't get stuck there. We'll keep going. I've talked about it enough. Go through the Jedi lessons and you will know what they come from. You will know what grand challenges I took as opportunities to build grand strengths. Thank God. Because they've rolled up a whole bunch of people and even killed one of our morning mastermind members recently. Insane. I fucking miss that dude. Like, it's crazy that it's just such a void actually in the group that continues. But we're so glad to have Snake in the crew. And I want everybody to know these realist guys who have run with me, you know, A-K-E-T, Snake, A-R on the other side, Patrick Mitchell on the other side. You know, we miss you, young Padawan Sean, if you ever see this. You know, Kevin, Boosted Minds, Victor. We got this guy, Sean, he's recruiting us, but I think, he's such a class act, since he's an ex-cop. It just sounds fun to be the recruiter of him. No, I'm just playing. And I mean, speaking of which, right? So we're looking open here, right? We're looking. I'm honest. Isn't this a shocker? You know. So we got together these excellent. Here's the halftime show. Let's start. You know, of course, product announcements and all that. Right here. CoQ10. This is a no-brainer, and I've been taking it for 2 weeks now, and it is everything. I mean, this is a really good one. I've taken this by many different sources, many different times. We have a deal with a company who's already doing this, and they're letting us. They're fulfilling these at a high cost, but putting our label on them. And I'm really happy to say it's a really great company, third party. They've been in business for years and years and years and years. You know, Box Nutrition. And yeah. So we're really happy to work with these guys and bring you also there's 16 different key strategic nutritional elements. Ashwagandha. I've taken ashwagandha for a long time. This is one of the stronger ones I've ever taken. Very noticeably strong. You know, I've been taking it for 2 weeks, and it regulates my sleep so well. You know, my mornings are strong. And I love that. Because I'm an early morning guy. I put everything in the front end, you know what I mean, in my thinking, and my planning, and my day. The early bird gets the worm. You know, I get up so early. People think they're gonna attack before dawn, and I still got the drop on them. Really, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you spend 5 hours making your better version, your best version, and then give that to your loved ones? Especially if you're dealing with insane challenges at this time. Why wouldn't you look at a bunch of liars and say, oh man, they destroyed my whole life, but you know what? I'm going to become the truest possible human being out of this hole bullshit dramatic charade these people invented up and did child abuse with. Which brings us to the halftime show video. And I talk about this a little bit because it is where this channel comes from. It is what keeps me going. You know, I'm leaving Jedi breadcrumbs here for someone who should have been able to get this information personally from me. But unfortunately, they weren't able to get this information. And not only that, their rings were clipped in 100 other ways, which is just ridiculous. And not just clipped, but fucking burnt, mutated, witchcrafted, toxified, whatever words you want to use. All right. Yeah, all right. So that is 50 Cent's 30-year-old son who was unable to have a relationship with him because of the programming of that mother. And he even says classily, you know, like, that's a very unfortunate situation. He's just 100% team mom. And a mother that really loves her son wants them to have that Jedi training that everybody wants, every young person wants, would jump at the chance to have. The only person who's got the first-rate access to it and won't jump at it because of the brainwashing and and camel riding, the camel transfer, because he allowed his mother to transform him into a camel for her to ride. He doesn't get that Jedi thing. And here he is at 30 singing to this witch fucking hag piece of child-abusing garbage. You can't argue this. There's no other way to get those results. You can't argue this. You understand? That child has. There's no other way to get that. And it's exactly what his dad is saying it is. And all the stories that he's written about in books and the things that we've seen, it's a perfect education for what a brainwashed robot is. And we're all alienated kids, ladies and gentlemen. And in fact, both sides have been played by this fucking crazy shit Candace is talking about. So we've been totally 100% inside of a design where there was supposed to be divorce. There's supposed to be hate of the two parents, the Democrat. There's supposed to be crazy conflict inside, divide and conquer. There's supposed to be crazy conflict outside. What's the biggest money business in the world right now is war. There's war. That's fucking... Why? We can make the life force... We can make the life eco force. Why couldn't... We should have shipped everyone from Gaza to Venezuela, start doing diverse agriculture, make them ambassadors, send them across the world. You just took what was... And from the word, they will appreciate that. They will remember that. That would have been the thing to do. Rebuild the economy there. Rebuild the economy everywhere. Start supplying the entire world with incredible food. That could totally be done. You know what I'm saying? Now, no more toxic water, no more toxic education, no more toxic control freaks at the top. We can, back to the 10% of humanity, can step out right now, and it's in Latin America, ladies and gentlemen. It is in Latin America. Not to mention, right where I'm at right now is the purification zone. Take it from a chemical, biological, and radiological warfare defense instructor. Mission-oriented, protective posturer. So, yeah, anything that comes from the 10-degree mark of the equator on the north will cycle back to its respective pole, northern or southern hemisphere. It's inside those two 10-degree marks from the equator. That's the purification zone. Let's just say both hemispheres were contaminated. That's where the planet will be restart from. Brandon Angel Fitness, Instagram live bubbles. Look at the skies out here. They are way more clearer. Whatever geoengineering crap they're doing over there it's not gonna hurt us. We're gonna be eating this incredible feast made for better than any king's feast ever prepared. I'm not sure about that because likely these slave diets, the the pyramid and then the upside down pyramid, and that one, because I actually really liked Robert Kennedy, but that one is funny to me, especially in the content, especially for the times. Timing being everything in the fight of life. Timing being the reason I make this video saying these things. Candace too. There's other young people out there married to the truth. Julian Dory, Danny Jones. Yeah, tons of people. And there's all kinds of charlatan distractions out here. Guys take millions of dollars right over here. I know all about it. Take millions of dollars donations for jungle fuck conservation and just made himself famous with all the advertising himself. Fucking ridiculous. It's all known by the other side. It truly is. This is a holodeck simulated training module for our soul. I also put below the CMTU by Chris Langland. The guy has got an IQ 200. What he describes, when I saw it, I was like, that is what I see in nature, in language. And I've described it as the voodoo verse, the exterior. There's another layer here that we just don't have the organs to interpret. There's many other layers here that we don't have organs to interpret. There's many other frequencies. There's many options. There's many opportunities of life. It's, can you get out of your comfort zone? Can you get over to where they are? Can you grab them? Because it's like catching a bullet. Yeah, you know, but if you become Jedi enough, because you've watched all these videos, then you'll be able to navigate life just like a guy who started in a box, locked up so his mother could get a check off his head and she wouldn't have to do anything, from age 10 to 17, breaking out of them, having adventures, and coming to you today from the jungles. I've got incredibly family members. There's been 1,000 angels a part of this. I know what I'm saying is true, that you can get recognition from above, that you can get angelic divine intervention all the freaking time. You might not believe it, but there's one way to find out. And what I'm telling you is, marry yourself to the truth. It's as simple as Marcus Aurelius put it way back when. If it's not true, don't say it. If it's not right, don't do it. If you have something that you need to do and you know it, and destiny itself is screaming it at you, but you lack the ability to put yourself in the correct place, to do the personal inventory, to get yourself some Jedi time with someone who's really super Jedi, to fucking stop thinking that you know everything and being some fucking entitled genius with some glib, stupid ass smile. And you can come with respect to life and respect for yourself. And you can go hard for real, and you can go hard on yourself enough that you're not one of these glim people that thinks they're fucking God all over the damn place. That think, you know, I don't speak on myself personally, and I love all my friends that do, but I just want to give you something to think about. I don't speak on scripture. I don't speak on that kind of stuff. Who authorized me to do that? That shit's way so holy. And really, I think the best thing that any person can say is, you need to go out to nature and get this relationship with above for real, the right way. And this means cultivation, this means farming, this means fitness, this means responsibility, this means you take care in the nutrition that you put in, because what you put in has everything to do with what you put out. All right? And you care enough about your people to put in good and put out good. You care that they put in good and put out good. You're not a punk. If they fall below the operational standards, you must deny them access to the mission, or else you're a liability. You're not an asset. Nothing from above is going to respect you. You're a chink in the army, and I'm gonna disqualify you. And I might not even tell you. I might just have other builds that you don't know about that are progressive, and you have been not selected. That's actually the best way to do it for you captains on up. And for you lieutenants on down, nutritional diversity diet supporting a small farmer is karmically, intrinsically, integrally something that you must do this week, or get with my Mount Snake on the microgreens. That is freaking genius. That is taking it into your own hands. If you guys want to, if anybody wants to jump into a morning mastermind with cultivators of life on the fucking bio revolution, metaphysical revolution, quantum physical revolution, real revolution, realist world. If you want to get into some Jedi stuff, you can find me on Brandon Angel Fitness on Instagram. And it doesn't matter what we call it. Schematics, Brandon Angel Fitness, nutritional diversity, mouse sound. We are checking all these dynamic boxes in the language of action. Right? Please lower the language of action. And we don't even really need to say anything. I'm glad that I get to just leave this video and leave these videos, and then there they are. You know what I mean? I've made some straight machine gun Uzi fire. I've laid down heavy fire in the fight. Some seed, I planted a spread of seeds to grow a new direction in the face of a stupid, caustic, sinking ship. Let's jump this and go over here. As Buckminster Fuller says, you're not going to reform this fighting from the inside. You're going to need to replace this with something so functional that it renders this obsolete. Now imagine 10% of the population, finally to the final. We just run off, we do sustainable power generational off a river. We do small hydro that doesn't hurt anyone. It's very, very dependable, constant, excellent. We'll put some solar too. We'll do great batteries. We'll innovate every kind of. If we all bolt out of the city and set up these fingerprint ecological enhancing innovations of biopower exchange between humans and nature that is sustainable and respectful, and we cultivate our community from there, and size limits matter. You can't have too many people shitting in one place. It's not necessary, it's not the sustainable method. The sustainable outline for sustainable communities are down below. There's a link to a pamphlet that says complete optimization. That pamphlet has water table distance, river, all the stuff that we need to maintain sustainable, this many miles away, everything. For a starting thing, not everything. It will get better, right? If we were to all leave the cities and set up in these encampments, let's just call them, that were sustainable biogenic, dude, you're like, whatever, pandemic, bullshit, news, stupid. If you're here in the equator zone, and there's plenty of zone, I've got turnkey stuff ready to go. It's fucking the earth, man. There's shit now with this agriculture drone thing that we have to do, and the drone's already built. Guys. Now we can fucking just straight have horse and hike rivers, and have drones bring materials all day long, and we just build them in inaccessible secret locations. A plethora of them. And in those situations, land by, fucking forget about it. I have got 100 acres right now that we could get for $40K with a fucking spring in the middle of it. There's no access out there, but we don't need it. You know what I mean? We need a good $50K for that drone though. Any which way, and then we can keep innovating. I'll get there soon. But if somebody wants to jump in, let me know. Like I said, we help people do this stuff all the time through consultation, through interpersonal situation. We'll set you up. We got the people who will stay on top of your stuff so it can be programmed. You wouldn't believe how inexpensive and even maybe another stream of income can come off of it, depending on what the place, right? Many of them, in fact. This place is filling up. A lot of people want to rent, and they're happy to rent in the country for some innovative spirit-tipping agriculture project. I mean, this is the new frontier. You might not like the answer. You might not like the answer. You might want to live in your stylish cities and all this stuff. I'm telling you, timing, everything in the fight of life. Now is the time to set up plan B. To get on the B team. All right? And I'm telling you. And now I'm going to just go ahead and wrap this morning up because I've got to go take the dog for a run and then get to the getting. I love you guys. I love everyone. I love my enemies. I love my haters. There's a good fucking serious sized fan club out there, you know. I love all of that. I love them. I love all of them against their will, you know. Because especially the ones who have thrown their own souls to the fire and clenched in on that and cannot admit how insanely, horrifically wrong and child abusive and horrific they have been to the people that matter most or to themselves or to anybody. And they're clenched into this, and I keep telling the truth, and they have to keep telling the lie, right? You know, and so this is what I'm saying. All the liar people on the negative side, they work together. Every negative thing they do helps another negative thing they do, and the same for us. And this crystalline, it actually really could, once you start to kind of see how it comes together, we are building an insanity of beauty here, and it's going to be an independent Dr. Masaru Emoto water pictures. Dr. Masaru Emoto, water pictures. Type that into the search bar. There's a video on nutritionaldiversity.com. If you click on farming for kids from the left menu, there's a bunch of kids videos for kids farming. And there's one in there with Bruce Lee, the Blender Bandito, explaining the Dr. Masaru Emoto water pictures, showing the pictures, and the Cleve Baxter tests, which are those two sciences are crazy, unheard of by people, and they're the realest sciences, and also backed up now by the new mycelium running. And that right there, as far as biology goes, will give you that's the book for you to get some sort of biological. You know, I also actually recommend a book by Michael Pollan called The Botany of Desire. And there's links to come down here and do this nutritional diversity diet with us and feel better than you've ever felt in your life, and check out all this stuff. We'll work it out. And we operate everywhere from Mexico to Chile, okay? And man, we are actually in protest of I'm an honorably served vet. I was an instructor. I was a qualifying instructor, LPO of the shop for my final 2 years in the military. You know, there was 10,000 guys who know who I am, who knows I did an excellent job, who I cared. I knew my shit. I studied. I didn't fuck around. I didn't play. I was serious. I cared enough. There's no point in doing something unless you're going to do it right. I was lucky. I had cowboy captains over me, show me, take me aside, care enough to kick me down on character and qualities that I just don't see a lot of people have anymore. You know, this younger generation right now, I mean, let's give credit where it's due. That's what we're here for, right? They are fucked up. They're all fucked up. All these kids are super fucked up. I'm pissed myself. You know what I mean? Because I know about this whole thing we've been discussing this whole time with this satanic bullshit. You know, and I'm married to goodness. I saw that stuff when I was a little kid in my own mother, so that's that. That's all I needed to see. Thanks. Once again, all challenges, opportunities to build change. strength should you choose to do that. I wish I would have had someone grab me, slap me, and shake me. Do you realize how hard you have to go, kiddo? You don't realize how after you go. All these Jerry Springer people out here, they don't know how hard you got to go either. That's why they're not going anywhere. You got to go hard, man. As David Goggins says, if you're not getting the results you want, go harder. He was also a big proponent of ashwagandha. If David Goggins says it, we are going to prevail. In fact, we already won. It's already done. We're already in the gym. We're already on the run. We're already putting together the nutritional diversity diet. It is so. We are optimal human beings with optimal information now, finally, because of this video and the other 62 videos on this channel and so much more out there. Oh, how could you be great without standing on the shoulders of giants? How could you see furthest without standing on the shoulders of giants? But I guess if you're one of these modern entitled geniuses everywhere, you don't need to do that, man. And we Jedi see you from a mile away, and they're annoyed already. All you have to be, young people, to be a superstar now. All young people of all ages. We need course correct. I need course correction completely, constantly, consistently. I got to do it to myself. I got to do it to everybody around me because they don't hold the bar. Or I got to get myself away for a minute so that I can really raise my standards. Because two cheetahs don't run super fast connected to each other. And two eagles don't fly super high connected to each other. It's mandatory. You must do the vision quest. You must take that time. It must be consistent as well. And this is because our mission is most important. It's super big now. It's super clear now. And to me, I love it. This is miraculous. Wait, what? We live in a freaking reality that is this beautiful, and demons clandestinely are grouping us, trying to fucking totally put the chokehold on us and shit. Like, what kind of video game? Oh, you know what I mean? And we can step outside of that and start doing this alternative agriculture thing and build up Spartan dudes and then come back and slap the witches around for fun. And that's what happens when you become a Jedi. You no longer become these little bumps in the road. You fly right over all those little bumps like they're nothing. All these other people are stuck on the bumps. They become the bumps. That's why I'm telling you, continuously overcome, grow, stay in the positive orientation. Don't have anything to do with any of this other stuff. Now it's the time. And we are getting up to that final time. Like, look at it. Look, are you blind? You know, I don't need to really point those things out. And in that final time, as quantum physics shows, as Bob Marley said, one love fractals down into many fragments, the most strongest of which would come back together in angelic groups during demonic times, doing angelic stuff, caring enough to be productive, caring enough to put the drink down, to put the bad drink down, to put the good drink together. It took me an hour and a half to harvest all the shit that was in this. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not, you know, I have to go meet farmers. I had to drive 3 hours out and 3 hours back yesterday to get a bunch of this that's not in my local area so that I can add more to my diet from excellent cultivators. These retired guys, they have a really, how could you know, once you learn about a really loving process, you know, I used to be a home builder. You build a home for profit, you build a home for love. I was building for an inheritance for someone. People would walk into my buildings and they'd be like, wow, why are you checking out the ceilings? Why are you spending this extra? Why are you doing this extra? Well, that's not necessary. There's student rentals. Kids are going to fuck them up anyway. Well, yeah, these are going to be left to my kids. So I really love them. And also, by the way, I'm rented by people 2 years ahead of time. All of this also is funnily on video. Anyway, back to the original point. We will be able to cultivate an incredibly able angelic spirit if we give credit where it's due if we do not tolerate evil, if we are a valiant knight for goodness, we will get recognition from above. And in my case, and I can only say this because I've experienced it, everything that I'm saying. In my case, you can get divine intervention left and right, be able to see around corners miles away. Angels come into your life on the smallest windows of ability for them to do so. Like, this is the only time in this last year that I could have met a person like this. And then I met a person like this. You have to be operating in this excellent place of truth to have this excellently true experience in this wonderful reality in which you've been masterfully distracted from and put into this concrete jungle that lives the book of the law. No, natural man, book of the jungle. I'm telling you, we leave now. We cultivate ourselves. We cultivate our new strength. If this cosmically finds you, and it's screaming in you for days after you've heard it, ideas are nothing, man. It's action that makes the enterprise. Ideas have existed for millions of years, way before you ever got here to have it, to receive it. If everything can only be created or not be created or destroyed, only transformed, it was all there. All these possibilities were all there. It's just your duty to escape this shit to find this shit. Like my adventure of life, I had to escape juvie jails in order to get this Jedi experience, which was the foundation for making this video. All right, enough is enough. I think that was tough. And let's just get with the biggest hand in the game and be genuine about it. We're not putting on sheep's clothing. We're not authorized to really talk about this. We're just going to try to do our best to do it. You know, I'm your fellow journeyman. I'm not your teacher, not your guru. I'm just getting pushed around the block too. And maybe just a couple times more than you know. All right. But I don't know. And we're all puzzle pieces anyways. We're all puzzle pieces. If I fail to recognize that, oh man, what a failure. Now we can't build this huge unified thing, which means we avoid conflict. If their character holds the key, all right, respect that. You know, let's not conflict. Let's avoid conflict. Now, if you disrespect somebody else, get ready, man. Now, first thing nature tells you is be polite. If you want to start going disrespecting people in the law, in the jungle land, not a pussy, convenient, comfort, concrete bullshit, cancer patch, space shuttle image, literally mirrors microscopic cancer, structure-wise. All right? If you want to fucking think that you're the little entitled genius and can kick everyone's ass and fucking you know everything and you are gonna get so leveled out in the jungle, it's ridiculous. And in this dynamic way, I keep trying to tell you. You know what I mean? Out here in nature, that shit ain't flying. They can only get you to become so toxic in the city. Out here, that will be hard to pull off. All right? Dear Lord, we love you, we love you, we love you. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And in so much that we'll communicate the rest of that with every action throughout our day and the next days, avoiding conflict, avoiding control freakism, because we know that trying to control others is the best way to lose yourself, by cultivating and caring and loving and moderating conflict, solving problems, not creating them. And it matters who starts it. We love you, Lord. Please help us to, be this most valiant person and team and unified crew. Even though there's splinter cells of us everywhere that like to be, at the end of the day, we can avoid the conflict, the division and conquering. We can take the mission as the most important thing. I don't all the way like anybody. I'm not a robot. There's shit I don't like. I don't agree with nobody. I'm Candace Owens fan. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't even know her. Right? So from realistic credit where it's due, completely accurate and precise. And man, that is hard, guys. That is not easy stuff we're talking about here. You know what I mean? Most people can't do it. Most people can't support, thank you, Snake. Most people can't support another person. Most people can't like, subscribe, share, get yourself, support people who are really like fucking be good. Let's do this for real. Let's really make God proud together. Let's really make God proud together. He's not going to be proud of someone who's not supporting. Listen, if you're my boy, no one can talk any negative shit about you around me. That would be a huge mistake. This level of cowboy character is gone. But I'm not willing to settle for less. I'm not going to accept, which is install some bullshit into my life. I am specifically designed to detect and deter and like get away from bullshit. I'm not even gonna say destroy. No, I'm not destructive, constructive. We don't need to. At some point, if you can't cure the control freaks, I'm not a punk. If you come around trying to hurt kids or hurt my community, you're gonna die. And I don't even want to think about, after everything I've contained over this long, what that looks like. But that's what we got. That's the natural edge, the balance. We're building men who are capable. You become dangerous so that you can have peace, so that you don't have some control freak bully pushing you around, putting all these ridiculous family courts, and it's just like right next to Braveheart. It's worse. All this other kind of shit where you got these crazy psychological disorders, these fucking young people so fucked over. I'm pissed. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to go down swinging. With my little tiny resources, I'll do way more than fucking people with tons. Because of my crew, probably. Honestly, right? So let's be that. Let's support each other. Let's start putting the weight on. Let's keep doing the baby steps and then the big boy steps. And we've all got that, me and myself included. I've got so much work to do. I can't wait to get up all super early in the morning and get on it, because there's no cooler mission, no cooler experience, like I said. All right. How can we do some nuclear ecology? How can we do some nuclear life while they're trying to do some nuclear destruction shit? You know what I mean? How can we just be like, yo, we're out. You fuck, let these people blow themselves up. There's a whole planet out here. If we all spread out, we do this now, what the fuck are they gonna do? There's nothing they can do. You know what I mean? You've got your own power. You've got your own food. You've got your own freedoms. People are gonna stop. We need a conscious raise on this entire planet, and they're hijacking legitimate ideas. Let me propose this real quick while I'm kind of in the right. Is like they're hijacking real ideas. Every real idea they hijack. So it's not that a one world peaceful situation isn't bad. That would be great. But it would have to be built on the right principles. It would have to be free of control freaks. And we have the tools. Please look at the Kia Karlberg science linked below on all of these videos. And also recognize from the Amber Heard as well, we have a perfect education. There's an MMPI-2 test. There's an MMPI-2 test. If we promote on merit, that dude jumped on the grenade. He saved the kids from the lion or the fucking whacked out, fucked up kid school shooter. If we promote on that, instead of mouth service or dynasty or relation or existing experience or whatever, If you're really truly, if we have meritful people, the guy that jumped on the lion, he's definitely going to train the next guy, right? So if we promote on merit, not mouth service and money, and we promote on, and we disqualify narcissistic personality disorder, we'll be fine. There it is. And I'll end it there. And I love you guys. Be good. Be great. For the great spirit. Who